Hello Jukes family, how are you all? All right, it is time to bring out one of Duke's favourites, if not the most favourite exercise, which is the sumo squat. You guys all get given it. It's a very important exercise. It's definitely one of my favourites, if not favourite. We're going to take it apart. We're going to make sure we learn every little segment, start from the bottom, work our way up and perfect this exercise. Okay, grab yourself a drink bottle and get yourself ready. All right, let's start by just getting the legs moving a little bit before we put them under pressure. So let's just march with knees high, just get the range of motion going so we're not gonna shock them when we start putting them through the ringer with this sumo squat test, all right? Today's all about getting technique perfect, so when you go to use it at home, in at Duke's, you've got it spot on, okay? You know me, technique is everything. All right, shake those legs out. All right, let's start all the way down the bottom. We've got those feet. Now, I want you to put your feet out nice and wide. Now you'll see they're just outside my shoulders. So remember, that's going to be different for everybody. Everyone's got different width hips and shoulders, so make sure you're doing it to your shoulder width or hip width, okay? All right, so we've got our feet out wider. Now we want our toes pointed outward. Now I don't mean right out, pick in between, okay? So about there. Lock that in, all right? We always want to be putting the pressure onto the insides of our feet, okay? So don't let yourself roll out. All right, now we work our way up, our knees, okay? So our knees are always going to follow our toes, okay? So my toes are heading out there and there. So as I go down, I'm going to push them out towards my toes. We don't want to be going in. Remember, that knee's a hinge joint. It only likes to do this. You try and twist it, it doesn't work. So to keep it a hinge joint, it's going to follow those toes. Okay, it's a really important one, and one that people get confused with a normal squat, which is keeping your knees perfectly forward, but that's because their toes are that way. Okay, next one. Now that they're heading in the right direction, we don't want them to go over your toes, remember? So we stick our bottom back, all right? So get in the same position, we're side on, okay? So you want to be squatting down and back. You don't want your knees coming forward. Remember, as soon as our knees go over our toes, all of our body weight from our knees up gets loaded through those joints, and you'll be able to feel it. If you ever get sore knees with squats or lunges or anything like that, 99.9% of the time, your knees will be over your toes. So always stick your bottom back. Always say, imagine there's a chair that's too far back and you're trying to sit back down on it. You'll get it right every time, all right? Shake those legs out. We've already started using them. All right, the next thing, we've done our bum back and down, okay? Next one up is our hips, okay? Now remember, imagine there is a big long broom handle across your hips. Now, if my hips are perfectly square as we go through this squat, the broomstick would stay like that, right? If I start to drop a hip or turn a hip, right, that broom handle will turn. All right, now we're loading up one side. Things are gonna have to adjust. If they have to adjust, they'll be unhappy because they're doing the wrong thing. So keep your hips nice and square. This is a good one to watch in front of the mirror, your hips, because it can be quite hard to kind of watch and feel what you're doing. But once you get in tune with these techniques and they become the norm, you won't even need to worry about it, okay? So remember, hips nice and square. As you go down, it'll keep everything nice and even. All right, so our arms, all right? I want you to keep them behind your back if you don't have weights, okay? So what that'll do is, instead of our shoulders being rounded, okay, it automatically, whenever you can, put your hands behind your back, because that creates that shoulders down and back whether you like it or not. And you know that's one of the most important postural points that we go through time after time. Okay, we've got that part of the posture correct. Of course, always tummy tight. I know we're working the legs, but that should be tight the whole time. Remember, that's your stabilizer. It's going to keep you stable, so keep that one in mind. It's not one that I put in the points specifically, because it's something that you should have in there all the time, and you should know that one by now. Okay, so shoulders down and back, but like I said, when you've got your hands behind your back, posturally it's quite hard to have your shoulders forward and up, okay? So, but just a reminder, they can creep forward. You may forget to put your hands behind your back. As long as you've got your shoulders down and back, you'll be spot on. All right, chest out, obviously, that comes with shoulders being down and back. All of these work with one another. You get a few of these right, it's hard to get the rest of them wrong, all right? So minimum, try and get a few of these right, and it'll help you with the rest of them. Heading up a bit further, chin up, okay? So if we put them all together, all right, chin up and down. That's how we want the sumo squat to look, okay? We're gonna work through it again. Toes out, knees following the toes, knees not going past the knees, hips square, tummy tight, shoulders down and back, hands behind your back, okay? Chest out and chin up, and the finished product should look something like that. Okay, I'm sure you'll all have comments to tell me what I did wrong, seeing as you're all experts now. Good, so all the way up and down, everything nice and square, and trying to get down to a right angle. Now we've done all the physical movements, and there's always that key one. Okay, apart from the tummy, it's kind of part of it, you're breathing. Make sure you're breathing. And remember, if you breathe out on exertion, so in a sumo, we're coming down, the up is the exertion. If you're breathing out, you'll gain a little bit more power, and it'll help you push through the exercise, especially once we start applying weights to this, okay? Which makes it a little bit more difficult. You need a little bit more go to get through it. All right, give that one a go, guys. Just a quick reminder, guys, don't overdo this one. Remember, it's one exercise, although there's lots of different parts of it that we've taken apart. All put together, it's still only one exercise. So give it a go, give it a go, give it a go. If you get tired, give it a rest, give it a few days, and then come back to it and see if you can perfect that, okay? Another reminder, it's not the same as a squat, although there's a few parts in there, especially our upper body, that are similar to a squat. It is quite different once we get down here. It's working different parts of our body, and the trajectory of our legs is very different, okay? So try not to confuse the two, try to separate them and treat them as two very different exercises. Okay, today's tip. Well, it's a little bit more like homework actually. So I want you to go over all the videos that have been pumped through, because we're coming towards the end, guys. And I want you to pick out the ones that you haven't done, or haven't had a look at, haven't gone all the way through, and give them a go, right? Treat them as homework leading up to us reopening, which isn't far away now, guys. And I want you to make sure you've dotted all your I's, crossed all your T's, and you're ready to come back in and get straight back into it. All right, guys, have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon. Bye.